Hey there, fellow deep divers. Ready for a fascinating journey? Today we're going to unpack twice migrants.
Twice
Yeah,
migrants.
you got it.
What's that about?
It's wild. These are folks who didn't just migrate once,
Okay.
but twice from their ancestral homeland.
Wow.
Think about it. Like,
Yeah.
imagine your family journeyed from India to Guyana generations back,
Okay.
built this whole vibrant Indo-Guyanese culture.
Right, right.
And then, because of politics, economics, the whole shebang, they pack up again
Oh, wow.
and migrate to North America.
Wow, starting over again.
Exactly. Each migration wave carries its own story, tradition, struggles.
That's layers on layers of history.
Absolutely. It's mind-blowing. And luckily,
Yes.
some brilliant folks have been studying this.
Yeah.
Parminder Bachu, back in '85,
Oh, yeah.
wrote Twice Migrants, East African Sikh Settlers in Britain. Groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking really set the stage.
It did. And then we have Tanya Dasgupta, too.
Yes.
Her book, Twice Migrated, Twice Displaced, dives into South Asians who moved to the Gulf
Right.
and then on to Canada.
It's fascinating how these patterns emerge.
Totally. They give us these frameworks like transnational migration theory.
Ah, yes, the idea that home isn't just one place.
Exactly. It's about those ties to multiple cultures, always in between.
A constant flow of experiences.
And then there's feminist migration theory.
Can't forget that.
Yeah.
Highlighting the power of women.
Right. They're not just going along for the ride.
No way. They're the drivers shaping families, building communities across continents.
Exactly. It's like their impact ripples outwards.
Exactly.
And speaking of impact, let's zoom in on Guyana.
Guyana. Interesting choice.
Right. The only South American nation with English as its official language.
That's right, because of its history.
Exactly. Colonial past, indentured servitude, the whole deal.
It's a dark chapter, but crucial to understanding how it is now.
After they abolished slavery in Guyana in the 1800s,
Yeah.
massive labor shortage on the sugar plantations, chaos.
Of course, what did they do?
British brought in indentured laborers, mainly from India.
Can you imagine?
It's heavy stuff, leaving your homeland, crossing an ocean,
To face such hardship.
to face brutal conditions, a totally new life.
And that's where Sansari's story comes in, right?
Yes. From the book, Twice Migrants, Studies on South Asian Diaspora.
Okay.
Her family's journey, it's like a microcosm of this whole experience.
The hardships, the resilience, it's all there.
Sansari's family, they arrived in Guyana as indentured laborers from India, just like so many others.
Generations adapting to this new reality.
It's incredible. And it's not just the environment.
Right.
They face cultural shifts, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like how Sansari's family transitioned from arranged marriages
Which were the norm back in India.
to more love-based unions.
Showing that shift in social dynamics in Guyana.
Exactly. They grappled with changing views on caste, too.
Adapting those age-old traditions to Guyanese life.
It's amazing how they adapted and built these lives.
Formed communities, planted roots.
But,
Yeah.
and there's always a but, isn't there?
Right.
Post-colonial Guyana, especially for Indo-Guyanese, wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't a walk in the park, that's for sure.
The political scene, particularly under the PNC from the 60s onward,
Yeah, tough times.
it was tough. Economic hardship, discrimination, you name it.
A whole bunch of factors creating a real push to leave.
The perfect storm brewing, leading to, you guessed it.
Another wave of migration. Another wave of migration, exactly.
And that's where Sansari's story takes this incredible turn,
Yeah.
faced with all this instability.
Yeah.
Her family makes this huge decision,
Huge.
leaving Guyana, aiming for a fresh start in North America.
It's like starting over again.
Imagine, after everything they'd already been through,
It takes guts, that's for sure.
what kind of challenges did they face this time? It must have been a whole new set.
Oh, completely different ballgame.
Like what were they dealing with?
Well, picture this. You're rebuilding your business from scratch, from nothing, trying to figure out new cultural norms.
Oh,
It's not easy. And on top of it all, the emotional weight.
right.
Leaving your homeland again.
It's like this bittersweet thing.
Yeah.
You're drawn to a better life, but leaving behind the place that's become home.
It's complex, for sure.
And I imagine social networks played a big role,
Absolutely, those connections are lifelines.
helping navigate the whole resettlement process.
Exactly, like a support system in a whole new world.
So we've got this mix of history,
Yeah.
economics, politics, personal stories.
All shaping what it means to be a twice migrant.
But what does it mean for the individual arriving in North America?
It's a lot to handle on top of everything else.
Right. Like what?
Think about it. You've adapted once. From India to Guyana.
Huge cultural shift.
Then bam, another shift, even bigger maybe, to North America.
It's like culture shock times 2.
More than just language or food, it's those unwritten rules.
The things you pick up just by living there.
Exactly. It can make you feel like an outsider.
Even when you're trying to fit in.
It's tough, and you're starting over, finding work, housing.
Building a life from zero again.
Plus, there's this pressure to succeed.
To prove it was all worth it.
Exactly, to justify the sacrifices.
It's a heavy load. Emotionally, practically.
It's a balancing act.
Holding on to your roots while planting new ones.
Being a twice migrant and part of this new world.
Not always easy.
No, tensions can arise, especially between generations.
Oh, how so?
Younger family members, they might assimilate faster.
Makes sense.
Maybe even reject some of their heritage.
Oh, wow.
Leads to friction, misunderstandings.
That push and pull between tradition and the new world.
It's a classic immigrant story.
It's universal, in a way.
It's about how cultures change, adapt over time.
That's how traditions stay alive, right? By evolving.
Exactly. The key is open communication, understanding between generations.
It makes you think, how does this whole twice migrant thing, how does it shape how later generations see themselves?
A big question.
Right. You've got Indian, Guyanese, North American, all these layers.
There's a lot to carry.
How do they make sense of it all, as one person?
There's no easy answer, honestly.
Figure.
It's different for everyone.
Right.
Depends on their own life, their family, how connected they feel to each piece.
So it's not like there's a twice migrant checklist.
No, not at all.
More about navigating all those parts of yourself.
Exactly. Some folks embrace the hyphenated identity, the whole mix.
Makes sense.
Others, they might feel closer to one side.
More Guyanese than Indian or...
whatever it might be, yeah.
And I bet some folks struggle to make it all fit together.
Oh, absolutely. Feeling caught between worlds.
It's like the whole idea of identity is never simple, is it?
Nope. Always evolving, changing based on where we come from and where we're going.
And all the choices we make along the way.
For sure. And with twice migrants, it reminds us...
What's that?
That there's no one right way to be.
Because everyone's journey is so different.
Exactly. It's all about finding your own place within those cultures, those experiences.
It's like we're seeing how personal stories connect to something bigger now.
Totally. Like zooming out to this global picture.
Oh, history, politics, economics, all these big forces.
They all play a part.
Shaping lives, setting these migrations in motion.
Across continents, across generations.
It's mind-blowing. And the crazy thing is...
What's that?
The story of twice migrants isn't over.
Not even close.
New generations are coming up, adding their own chapters.
And it's a story we should all be paying attention to.
Why is that?
It teaches us about identity, resilience, finding your place.
Things everyone can relate to.
Exactly. And it shows the richness these migrants bring to North America.
It's everywhere. The food, the music, the businesses.
All woven together.
It makes you wonder what the future holds.
Right. What will the next chapter look like for them?
How will they define themselves, these descendants of twice migrants?
Will they create their own constructed communities? Forge new paths altogether?
Fascinating questions. And it's not just a history lesson, is it?
Nope. It's still happening right now.
People are constantly on the move.
From the Caribbean, Africa, everywhere.
Each person, each family with their own unique story.
Adding to this global tapestry.
Constantly shifting, evolving.
It makes you question what we think we know.
About identity, belonging, what it means to be from somewhere.
Exactly. It's all about broadening our perspectives.
Seeing beyond borders, embracing those complexities. The human story, right. It's messy, it's complicated.
And that's what makes it so fascinating.
Full of possibilities, always moving forward.
Each wave of twice migrants just adds to that.
More depth, more to explore.
A journey worth following, a story worth telling.
So there you have it. A peek into the world of twice migrants.
A story of resilience, adaptation, searching for a sense of belonging.
The story that's still being written all around us.
Reflecting the human experience in all its messy glory.
It's about movement, change, that deep need for connection.
Hopefully it sparked your curiosity.
Left you with more questions than answers.
Because that's what the deep dive is all about.
We explore the complexities, make those connections.
And leave you with plenty to think about long after the episode's over.
Keep those questions simmering, those connections sparking.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
See you next time.